So we're asked to write a potential function. Just a brief note on that. There literally is an infinite number of correct answers. Don't let that wording throw you off. We're probably all going to write that same thing if you follow my strategy, but I'm just saying there's more than one way to do this. So here we go. Write a potential function for this. So immediately we should just recognize the shape that this field's vibing like some cosecant or secant graph. So what do we know about that from graphing? We know that these turning points, which are right there, were previously, well, this had to have been a maximum and this had to have been a minimum. Like, look, it's just, I don't know how to say it. Just apply some common sense. Like, it's below, all right? It's the smallest values there, and then the one on the top is the maximum. So if we kind of just pay a little caution here, the minimum is -2, the maximum is +2. That means there's a midline right in the middle of -2 and 2 at 0. Okay. The other thing I notice on this graph is that there's a vertical asymptote, even though it's not drawn in, at -0.1 pi and +0.1 pi, right? And from graphing, I know the midlines make asymptotes. So what I'm trying to really emphasize is look at what I'm highlighting right here. These three dots, if we connect them, a little careful, more careful next time, but that's fine. Definitely is vibing negative cosine. Cool. That's important. The next thing that's important is to recognize that the distance from the midline to the maximum from 0 to 2 is 2. And we can also confirm that over here from midline to min is 2, or over here from midline to mid is 2. That means our amplitude is 2. I'm going to come back to the argument, the inside of this, and just emphasize again that I already mentioned that the midline that I'm now highlighting with a laser pen was 0. So if this makes you feel complete, you can put a +0, but ultimately we're going to simplify it anyways. But there's your midline value. Now we got a couple things on the inside to attack. All right. So I'm going to use, I guess I'm limited with colors on this app. I guess I'm just going to erase what's up here just to be clear. All right. So delete. And now what I want to emphasize is we're going from here, something like this, to here. Okay. And what I want to know is what is the distance from here to here? That's what I crave, right? Why do I crave that? Well, that's going to be the period of the cosine. It's going from minimum to minimum. That's the period. So if I'm starting at -2/10 and I think about going to 0, that's 2/10, but actually there's a pi there. And then I'm here and I want to go to here. That's another 2/10 pi. So in total, 0.4 pi. To be clear, from minimum to minimum, 0.4 pi. That is the period. So let me do a little side work. What do we know about period? Period is 2 pi over b for sinusoids. I just said twice. I'll say it a third time. 0.4 pi equals 2 pi over b. We know what to do here. Put this over 1, cross multiply. B times 0.4 pi equals 2 pi. Then divide by 0.4. You get 2 pi over 0.4 pi. You can run this through a calculator. I've been stressing no calculator lately, so I'll do this without a calculator. I'll times by 10. because I know to move decimals, you use a factor of 10. This becomes 20 over 4 because 2 times 10 is 20. And when you multiply one decimal place by a 10, it just moves the decimal over. And 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I know my inside multiplier is 5. Okay. Last but not least, oops. Let me do one thing. Just give me like 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Cool. And let me just get rid of it. I'm not going to worry about it. The next thing and last thing is that if I put this cosine graph back quickly here, all right, I want to emphasize that it is not starting on the y-axis. See this? Start. It's not over here on the y-axis. It is actually what? It is actually been shifted to the left 0.2 pi. It's not starting on the y-axis. It's been shifted to the left 2/10 of pi. So my final answer, when I want to shift left, I use an inside opposite and 0.2 pi. There's the cosine graph in red. So my final answer of what was given to us, let me clean this all up because you can go back and watch this at different points. But I'm now here. Oh, I don't want to get rid of that. I just want to get, nope. Okay, so you're going to stay there. My final answer is to say y equals -2 secant of 5 times x plus 2/10 pi. Double parentheses there. Plus 0 is not needed. There's your final answer. Very doable, enjoyable, and emphasizes transformations.